Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube, man? It's your boy, Ashton Jackson, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys versus Los Angeles Rams post-game thoughts. I'm going to talk about what coaching needs to be better, players need to be better, front office needs to be better. I'm going to be talking about those things. I'm not overreacting. I'm just looking at the small things that might cost us during the season. So before we hop into the video, I would appreciate if you guys would like the video, subscribe if you're new, comment, and share my video with anyone who you think will enjoy my content. Hopping straight into it, man. The number one thing that I have, something that I wanted to touch on in the preseason game, and I already talked about it before, and I talked about it on TikTok. It was one of my most famous, or it was one of my TikToks that blew up the most on my TikTok page, which I'll leave the link to in the description box. But there is no way that your starters are not playing preseason, especially when you have a new scheme offensively, defensively, and special teams wise. There's no way that your offensive starters are not out there on the field. Now I understand. Can you start everybody? No, because some guys are legitimately out. Tyler Guyton cannot play. I will not start Terrence Steele, but heck, I'd probably put Terrence Steele out there just for a series or two. I talked about the dynamic and how preseason games should go. It should be the starters. Preseason game 1, you get a series or two. Game 2, you get a quarter. Game 3, you get a half. That's it. But what I don't want there to be is, and I said this, and we all saying it in the community, if you treat the regular season, especially this year, if you treat the regular season like a preseason, you will be 0-4 or 1-3 by the time you even get to October. And then depending on how October gets, and you have to fight up with your back against the wall with very little help, by the time you get to that November stretch, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be over by the time you play Philly, Detroit, Kansas City. Those 3 games in about 12, 13 days, your ass is grass. But these are the type of games that we like playing, and I don't understand. But offensively, Cooper Beebe got to play. And this is another thing I got a problem with too. What year did we decide we're not going to play rookies? Rookies, if you're a healthy rookie, you need to be playing. Whether you're an undrafted, whether you're a first-round pick through the 7th round that we selected you, not we, I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. If they select you from rounds 1 through 7, and even after that Saturday evening, once they're calling your agent to see if they can come pick you up because they really liked your college tape, you need to be playing. If you don't have any major injuries, bro, you need to be playing. Tyler Booker needs to play. I don't need Tyler Booker's real-life bullets where they're really trying to take you out is versus Jalen Carter. A year 3 Jalen Carter, a year 4 Jordan Davis. I can't have that. I cannot have that. And then especially with why I brought up Cooper Beebe's name. He's basically a rookie as well. That was his first year ever playing center, ever. He played guard and tackle at Kansas State, but he mainly played guard. He needs some more reps at center. I need to know what he looks like and what he's been learning from Duke and Connor Riley. I need to know. And plus that backup, that 3rd, 4th string offensive line was terrible. But once you get into the weeds of your offensive line, once you get to lineman 9, 10, 11, it does look like that. So I'm not too uptight about that. But yeah, man, Brian Sharman, and that was another thing. We were very undisciplined as a football team. Too many penalties. Austin Richards lined up offsides twice, which one of them ruined a Phil Maffa run, which Malik Davison, Phil Maffa, great job. You guys showed a lot of great things. Keep it up. I'm proud of you too. But again, going back to the starters, Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams, they're not Saquon, they're not Derrick Henry, they're not CMC, they're not Breece Hall, they're not Bijan Robinson, they're not any of those Jahmyr Gibbs, they're not one of those top upper echelon backs. They behinds need to be playing football instead of on the sideline chewing sunflower seeds. I told you I didn't want to see that. Especially in this running back room when we're trying to figure out who the starting running back can be. I need to see pass protection. I need to see catches being caught out of the backfield. I need you to be running in between the tackles and running physical behind your pads. I need you doing those type of things when you're a running back on my football team. And again, the same thing Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard days. We don't have a legitimate starter that I feel confident in day one. Number two, I don't know whose idea it was in back-to-back off seasons to trade for promising or potentially promising light quarterbacks, and we decided in their first game as they suited for as the Dallas Cowboy, we want to have them throw the ball 60 times. We want to have Joe Milton throw the ball 3 straight times in 2 different drives. Like, if we're preaching to run the ball, let's run the ball, but let's run the ball with a purpose. We're running the ball to settle down the game for a younger quarterback or just for a starter quarterback as well. Run the ball. So that's why if we can establish a run game early, and I'll talk about this in my regular season game previews and what I want my team to do to win. If you establish the run game early in the game and it's successful, that when you actually run play action plays, teams can fall and fake on it, and then you hit their asses over the head with Jake Ferguson, CeeDee Lamb, and George Pickens. Speaking about CeeDee Lamb, hey man, you acting like a light-skinned homie. Sit your behind on the sideline, sit next to Junior Adams, and go coach up. I mean, the way freaking CeeDee Lamb got hit by that ref, I'm not talking about what could have been, but the way he got hit by the ref, his ass might as well put on pads. I mean, if we're gonna get physical, bro, put on some pads. Let's get physical. But like sit your behind down. Go sit next to Junior Adams, Coach Adams, and go coach up these wide receivers. Teach them about their releases, their depth of what they need to be running, their routes. I mean, whatever. Talk to Joe Milton. Tell his ass to calm down. Next, my next point that I'm getting on. Joe Milton, bro. He can throw the ball from California to Texas. He can throw to San Antonio. He can throw to El Paso. He can throw to anywhere in Texas. But his ass cannot hit across the street with accuracy. That's a problem. But hey, that's what happens when we have a younger quarterback. He can throw the ball out of the gym, out of the stadium. That's not a problem. But that's why we need to work with him. And the later it got in the game, he got a little bit better. He just needs to get settled down. We understand, Joe Milton, we know you're an athlete. We know you can throw the ball for miles. But bro, you got to settle it down, calm down. But that's on Joe Milton also, but then that's also on the coaching staff. Because if you make Joe Milton's life easier, have him hit a couple bubble screens, have him throw some screens, have him throw a slant. I know it's tough for him to hit a slant, but I'm just saying, like, a hitch, do something. You know what I mean? A flat route, do something to get him going. Easy throws, a 5-and-out, a speed out. Give him something to get going as a quarterback. So that's why you feel more confident to throw the ball over across the middle of the field, down the sideline. He had a great throw to Tristan Holding down the right sideline. That was a damn good throw. Same shot, did everything. He just needs to slow it down. He needs to calm down. I already talked about the running back room in terms of Malik Davis and Phil Maffa. I really liked what I saw from Maris Lewifau. Coming down with intent, coming down with a purpose. He's not afraid to hit. You shouldn't be, especially when you play a linebacker at Notre Dame for Marcus Freeman, but especially when you're in the league and you're playing linebacker, you better be physical. I love what Maris Lewifau has been showing in camp, and also on the preseason game. He put out a lot of good tape, and he does his thing. He stays healthy, and what Coach Matt Eberflus has been able to do with linebackers, he has potential to be an all-pro or Pro Bowl level type of linebacker in this league if he keeps it up. The 6th point I got, I'm convinced that we're never going to be able to stop the run in Dallas. No, I'm not late to the party. I saw when I went out there for the Dallas Cowboys versus LA Rams game, divisional round in 2019. We're just never going to be able to stop the run. And the reason why we're not going to be able to, especially with the Jones and Will McClay in the front office, is because we don't spend allocated resources to get better at that position. I made plenty of videos. I'm not going to stress. I ain't going to cuss during this segment, during this talking point, because I talked about it many times before as to why we need to fix this run game, and why we need to fix stopping the run, and we need to figure out to get a real defensive tackle in this room. Bobby Smith don't got it. Jay Tui and Tommy King Basode, they're promising, but they're young. We need to go get a real defensive tackle in this room. You didn't want to address it in free agency. You didn't want to address it in the draft, and you damn sure probably not going to trade for somebody. But this is a problem that we're going to have to deal with. And the same thing goes for my last point, then we're going to end the video. I talked about cornerback depth being a real legitimate problem ever since March. Because once we knew that Deron Bell was coming off of an injury, once we knew that Kalen Carson was a little bit, this is before the injury with Kalen Carson, we just said Kellen Carson didn't have a good first year, but I'm not relying on him to step up. I'm not going to be like, okay, we have one down year. We got to really expect the second year jump. I'm not expecting any of that. I wanted Will Johnson. I love Savon Revel. Don't get it twisted. I love that we have him, but he's not going to be ready till October. I said go get Jair Alexander. I said go sign Mike Hilton. Go bring in Asante Samuel Jr. for a workout to see if what Dr. Cooper can look at and see if it's something serious with his neck or whatever type of injuries that he's dealing with. I'm hearing that Stephon Gilmore in the building. I didn't hear this from anybody. I just heard it from online and what I've been hearing about. I believe Brian Barnes has said it. The Dallas Cowboys believe that Stephon Gilmore can no longer run. They don't feel like he's fast enough to keep up with these guys. But at this point, we just need good cornerback depth right now until Diggs, Savon Revel get back into it. But yeah, man, I've been dropping videos since March talking about we need to upgrade this cornerback position. So that's all my points. I'm not upset. There was really no point in to talk about stats, just for the simple fact that we don't care about stats. I just look for impact when it comes out there on training camp. Are you putting out good consecutive plays? Are you putting out good tape? Those are things that I'm looking for when I'm watching preseason games. Regular season is going to get a little bit different. But until then, I just want to see improvement. Next game, Brian Schottenheimer, please have your starters play, especially your Sam Williams, Kyer Elam, guys that have a lot to prove. They behind should not be sitting. Nobody in the running back room should be sitting. The only person that should be sitting right now is Jaden Blue because he's dealing with an injury. Everybody else should be playing. If you don't want to play, CeeDee Lamb and Pickens, got you. Turpin got to play. Trayshawn, Jalen Tolbert, cool. But if you're going to let your starters play, let your starters play. Slow it down for Joe Milton. We're going to have to figure out something in this run game. I need one of these coaches. I need Brian Schottenheimer to go to the front office and demand. I need Matt Eberflus. I need them both to take shots through the media. Because CeeDee Lamb already did his part. CeeDee Lamb said, hey, man, none of these corners have been able to keep up with me. Now, I know that has confidence. He is the best wide receiver they're going to see every day in practice, him and Pickens. But that's CeeDee Lamb saying, man, we ain't got nobody that can stick with me up in here. And then teams are able to run the ball on us. Kyron Williams just got paid, threw up the deuces. Blake Corum, he by my size, he's running on y'all. Come on, man, figure it out. So that's about it for the video. Hope you guys have a nice day. Stay safe, stay blessed. Bye.